statute requires that the public have an opportunity to address the closing of schools. And that's why we're here this evening, to make sure that we're following our state statute in Arizona here and providing all of you an opportunity. I know that there will be other discussions around the option that was proposed to the community. And so we are here to, the board is here to listen to you this evening, not engage in a conversation. I would also like to mention that on December 2nd will be our next governing board meeting, and planned at this time will be an item for the board to vote on. I want to thank all of you for being here again, and I want you to know that we have received many emails and phone calls from the community. They have all been forwarded to our governing board, and I know that they've been busy reading those messages. So I know that the board is interested in hearing what you have to say. We know that these decisions are difficult in trying to balance the school budget for the 2015-16 school year, and appreciate your input as we move forward. So thank you for being here this evening, and we will get started. Mrs. Seeley's going to kind of review process and procedure, and we'll get started. Thank you for being here.
We will now move into the study session. Thank you for attending. The primary purpose of the meeting tonight is to hear from the public who are in support of or against the closures of Washington School and Miller Valley Elementary School. The procedures for the evening will be as follows. A form is required to speak. When you go to the podium, please state your name for the record. It's not going to be the podium, though. It's going to be these two microphones here on the side. The governing board will listen to your comments. However, we will not engage in any discussion. Due to the large number of speakers, please limit your comments to 2 minutes. Due to the time constraints, if someone has already shared your thoughts and or views, please try not to repeat them. Only share those points that have not already been shared. Kevin down here will be our timer. And there's a green light, a yellow light, and a red light. So green light means you're good. Yellow, when does the yellow go off? How many? At 15 seconds, the yellow light will go off. So I'll kind of tell you where you're standing. Let's see. As a final reminder, we would like to hear solutions, so please be thoughtful with your remarks. We appreciate your comments and passion this evening regarding the kids in our community. If you have additional information that you would like to share, please feel free to send it to the district office or email us personally. Thank you for taking the time to share your thoughts and ideas, and we'll go ahead and get started. You can go ahead and come down on either side, and we're going to form a line. We don't take, oh, you're bringing them to us. Okay, we don't take the sheets right now. We'll take them as you come up. So, are we ready? Jane, please state your name.
Tina, my name is Jane Robertson. I'm a teacher here in the district, and I would like to just make a couple comments. I would like to thank you, first of all, for agreeing to listen to all of us this evening. The restructuring of a district is never an easy task, and I commend you for your efforts. I would like to propose this evening a slight option or tweak to option A that many people are calling option A.1. I think it might be the best for our kids, for our teachers, and for our community as a whole. With this option, Abaya Dug, Taylor Hicks, and Lincoln will become our K-4 grade elementary campuses, each with diversified student populations. These primary campuses could then concentrate on early literacy and mathematics interventions and instruction. They would probably all be Title I schools, which would benefit them from a structured early intervention program. Granite Mountain then would not close, but would become an intermediate campus for our grades 5 and 6. All of our grades, our 5th and 6th graders, with a dedicated staff and a campus that includes science labs, a gymnasium, a track, a football field. The possibilities to me are endless and really, really exciting. As a district, we could work towards an innovative curriculum that was designed just for these young students. Preston Mile High would then become our 7th and 8th grade campus. The possibilities, once again, would be limitless. We would have a unified middle school that would rid us of those rivalries that sometimes persist even up into the high school years. And then PHS would be our 9-12 campus. As I thought about this option, I realized that despite the sorrow that it attaches itself to the closing of 2 campuses, we're still in a position to make PUSD perhaps even stronger and better than it's ever been. I think this option keeps us unified. We can create community schools where the children are nurtured on 3 campuses. Our 5th and 6th graders have an intermediate school. Our 7th and 8th graders are together in a cohesive middle school. I'm asking you seriously to consider this option. I think it's best for the community. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Christina Myers. I want to thank you for giving us PUSD parents the opportunity. I want to thank you for giving us PUSD parents the opportunity to share with you tonight our ideas and concerns we have about the budget cuts and school closing options. Just so you know my background, I am on 3 PTAs at 3 different schools and on 3 booster clubs at 2 different schools within PUSD. My oldest is a sophomore at PHS. I have a daughter in 8th grade at Mile High, and my youngest is in 5th grade at Washington. All my kids have gone K through 5 at Washington. The school district, especially in the last 5 years, has built great schools with great programs and run by great teachers. I know that at Mile High we have a great Title I program, the 21st Century Before and After School program, and the seminar classes in place of homeroom teach kids advanced subjects such as robotics, sign language, and survival chemistry. I have to say that I don't envy you because while I have 3 children to worry about, you have thousands. I know tonight you will get a lot of negative feedback because people don't understand what's going on or why, and people don't like change. But I have seen you over the last 3 years struggle with the cutbacks, and I know you've done your best. I know that soon you will have to make this decision, but I have faith that you will make the best one. I understand from a business standpoint that closing schools is necessary. There is no reason a school district the size of Harbor Freight be run out of facilities the size of Walmart. So I support you in closing the schools if need be. Out of the 3 options, I like option A the best. I have heard about option A.1, and if that works, I support that too. I do not support the 4-day work week, and I do not support parents that say that a school should not be closed. Remember, my home school is the one on every chopping block. But while I understand that, I think that we should move forward and help our children to face the changes. I trust you in your decision just as I have in the past 10 years, and I hope that the parents speak to you tonight that have much respect for you as I do. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Jennifer Bergamini, and I currently have 5 kids in PUSD, 1 more starting next year. Those of us who have been on various district committees for the last several years know why we're here. Our schools are under capacity by 1,400 kids, and we're short $2.1 million. And even though these numbers are staggering, we realize that it's certainly not the highest and best use of our resources to have empty desks and empty classrooms. We understand why the board is bringing these options to the table. We've joined together as a community of parents and teachers from different schools to assess what directions we want to see our district take in this very difficult decision. You'll be hearing from many of these parents and teachers this evening regarding what we feel is a powerful solution, option A.1 that Jane Robertson started to present there. However, throughout our discussions, we came away with a resounding message: smaller but better. Actually, we want our schools to be the best. We know that this is a challenging time for everyone, and certainly some schools, families, and teachers are more affected than others. We also recognize that every PUSD kid will walk into a very different school next year, regardless of what school they're in right now. We as parents, teachers, and administrators and board members owe it to each one of them to bring the best into their school. So by slimming down, we should be providing the best administrators at each site, the best teachers in our classrooms, the best programs for all students. As parents, we must maintain a positive attitude for our children and to succeed in our new school environment. We must recognize the advantages that could come from right-sizing our schools and the vast opportunities our children may have. Therefore, we are asking you as board members, no matter what decision you make, that you insist that the implementation of that decision results in better education for every student. We want every child to have equal opportunities for success in our district. We've heard stories shared of districts that have gone through difficulties and have overcome and been stronger and better. It'll take all of us working together, but we believe PUSD, if it must be smaller, can be better.
What's happening here is they turned in the slip, and I guess this is okay to do, and they've listed all the people who will be speaking about the same topic. So they're going to go, so if you guys are supposed to, we'll come to your side. That's going to finish. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Cheryl Fernandez, and I have 2 boys that will be at PHS next year, and I have 1 that have graduated. I want to thank the school board, the administration, and the district leadership team for all their time and effort that has been dedicated to these restructuring plans. Parents from several Prescott schools who have been involved in many of these decisions, discussions, and meetings have also further explored the options and have established a slight modification, very similar or exactly the same as Jane Robertson. We shared this idea with many parents, PTA leaders, and teachers, and have gained overwhelming support for its fairness and its vast opportunities. Therefore, we would really like the board to consider this plan, option 8.1. I'm not going to go through the details to save time, but our district would restructure in a way that would solve short-term financial goals while creating 3 K-4 schools. We could increase capacity to absorb current school students from school closures as well as future students. This new 5 to 6th grade intermediate school provides opportunities for all our students in the district, and both Granite Mountain and Mile High would achieve better capacity and maximize efficiencies. Many of us have worked tirelessly trying to pass our local bonds and overrides, which we would have avoided these current budget restructuring plans had they passed. I hope we can come together to support each other and our district so that all our children can have the best education possible. Thank you.
My name is Anne-Marie Lopez, and I have 3 children in the Prescott Unified School District. I am in support of option 8.1, smaller but better. Creating an intermediate school with only 2 grade levels housed at a middle school campus will allow the district to offer creative learning opportunities and allow for innovative models such as interdisciplinary teaming, core subject teaching, differentiation, and acceleration. All 5th and 6th grade students would benefit from a STEAM-infused program. STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. The STEAM program would allow all 5th and 6th grade students to experience STEAM-integrated learning, as well as the opportunity to showcase their learning quarterly. They could also choose to participate in a Lego and Bets robotic team, as well as a technology program. A school for 5th and 6th grade students provides an opportunity for an additional year of development before transferring to the middle school. At the same time, Granite Mountain has the resources to provide advanced learning such as science labs, culinary labs, or culinary technology and music rooms typically only available at a middle school level. This would allow PUSD to offer a truly unique alternative and compete with other 21st century schools. This is why I support option 8.1, smaller but better.
Good evening, my name is Amy Bittner. I currently have 2 sons at Abaya Judd and 2 sons at Granite Mountain. Over the past several years, my sons have participated in Character Council, Student Council, sports, music, New Horizons, Math Olympics, and the arts through their schools. These are many of the programs that make PUSD unique and keep me, as a mom, very satisfied with their education. However, it isn't enough to stay the course. We all know that it is time for a change. And while I'm also working as an English teacher at Granite Mountain Middle School, I can say I'm honestly excited about these changes. As you know, Granite Mountain has recently begun an Honors Academy and has started working school-wide to implement a STEAM program. These programs encourage project-based learning and help our students become better prepared for careers that await them, whether they choose college or a technical school. Combining our current strong programs at Granite Mountain with those at Mile High will make our school stronger academically. We will be able to integrate the best ideas and the best practices being used between our two campuses into one united middle school, where arts and academics will continue to thrive. Next year, if A1 is adopted, I will in all likelihood have a son at Abaya Judd, a son at Granite Mountain, a son at Mile High, and a son at Prescott High School. Crazy? Yes. But as a mom, I know they will continue to receive an outstanding education, and I'm willing to do the shuffle for them to continue to receive the benefits that PUSD provides. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brandy Jex, and I have 4 children who attend school in the Prescott Unified School District. 2 of them are 5th graders at Taylor Hicks Elementary. I support option 8.1, smaller but better, because it provides the same opportunities across the board for all students. Although I love Taylor Hicks and the education all 4 of my children have received there from phenomenal teachers and staff, I feel it would be a great disadvantage and disservice to have some 6th grade students attending Granite Mountain, where the resources are already in place to provide science labs, technology courses, engineering, performing arts, athletics, etc., while those of us at Taylor Hicks and Lincoln would continue 6th grade at our respective elementary schools, where it will be very difficult, if not impossible, to implement these same programs. I also love the idea that through option 8.1, my boys will have the opportunity to learn and grow together over the next 7 years with their graduating class of 2022. This sounds like Prescott Unified to me. Please consider how option 8.1 brings our community and students together, while option A creates division. Thank you.
My name is Michelle Collette. I am a single mother of 8, and I support option 8.1. I have been a PUSD parent for 17 years, and with my 8th child starting preschool at Discovery Gardens, I will have 14 more years at PUSD. With students in preschool, elementary, middle, and high school, my mornings consist of getting kids ready and transporting to 4 different schools. It's a bit crazy, and over the years, we've spent a lot of time in the car. If a single mother of 8 can make this work, I believe anybody can. Option 8.1 may add multiple schools to many parents' lives, but it is worth it. I believe in this option because I believe in my kids. I want what every parent wants for their child, to receive the best education and opportunities available. I believe option 8.1 will provide those opportunities at all grade levels, smaller but better. With my oldest in college and my youngest who is wheelchair-bound, starting preschool, I have always been an advocate in their lives and in their education. I support option 8.1. I believe that this option is the best solution for all of our children. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mackenzie Van Wormer. I am a PUSD parent who has or will have had 4 children in the Prescott School District. I support the option 8.1, smaller but better, because I believe providing our children with the best opportunities to allow and foster both emotional and intellectual growth. With this proposal, 8.1 allows our children to grow and mature together. A majority of the discussion has been focused on the academics, but I am here to speak on the social and emotional development of the child. A school for 5th and 6th provides the opportunity for an additional year of development before attending middle school. Keeping 4th graders in elementary school will allow them 1 extra year to mature into intermediate grade. With the current Plan A, there are not the options for all 4th grade children in our district to continue growth while still being a young child. I know personally, my 3rd grade son is not ready to move to an intermediate school that will be for 4th, 5th, and 6th. In that setting, there would not be a playground, nor would there be adequate fencing for these young children. 8.1 also provides my daughter, who will be going into 6th grade, another year of maturity before entering the middle school world. An intermediate level school specializing in 5 and 6 creates a secure environment during a critical time in all of our children's developmental stages.
Hi, that's loud. My name is Karen Fetter, and I have 3 students currently enrolled in PUSD. I've also been a nurse with the school district since 2007. I support option A1. It is smaller, but better. I've worked or subbed in most of the schools in the district at one time or another. I could walk into any classroom or treat a student in the nurse's office at any one of our district schools and not notice a difference between one student or the next. All students have similar needs and experience the same growing pains. I see supportive and caring teachers in the classrooms who are excited to teach their children to learn, and the students are excited to learn. Option A1 unifies all of our students in the district and allows everyone the same, or should I say, equal opportunity to learn. Please support A1. Thank you for your time.
Hi, my name is Joanne Chauffeur, and our children, Jenna and John, they have attended Miller Valley, Abaya Judd, Granite Mountain, and now at Prescott High School. They're currently in 9th and 12th grade. I serve as president for the PTSA and on-site council for Granite Mountain and Prescott High School. I'm also a part of the booster club at the high school for football and basketball. I want to thank our superintendent, our assistant superintendent, CFO, secretary, and Emma, and our current board members for all the time that you've put into this. I know it's not an easy time for our community, school board, or our PUSD team. I will keep you in my thoughts as you bring our district to a new place, a smaller but better PUSD. I support option A1. The biggest reason I support it is it allows our K-4 parents to have a choice of what school they want to attend. Plan A only pushes all the students from Miller Valley and Washington students to Abaya Judd, not giving them a choice of school. I hope after choosing option A1, the district will give Washington and Miller Valley first choice as to what school they want to attend. By making all 5th and 6th graders at Granite Mountain Middle School, that will give them the ability to build a community of moving on to Prescott Mile High Middle School for 7th and 8th grade, and then on to the high school. Giving those incoming 5th and 6th graders, giving those incoming 6th and 7th graders 7 to 8 years together on their PUSD journey will give them the relationships that will serve them well. And on a side note, I do not support the 4-day week under any circumstances. On another note, whatever decisions the school board makes on December 2nd, please know that I am working on relationships with all current PTA and PTOs in the district and to make sure that this new, smaller but better PUSD is an easy transition for our children. Remember, we are building bridges, not walls. We are all leaders, and our positive words will allow our kids to make this transition and to be a fun new experience. Thank you.
I'm sorry for the voice. I'm a little under the weather right now. My name is Ryan Lowry. And, just standing here and listening to the words that have been already spoken, you feel that there's a passion and a love from every single one of these parents. And that's one of the reasons why I love Prescott so much. Because you can tell that what brought every single one of these parents out here is a love for their children, and they're trying to seek the best interest for their children. And that's amazing to me, to see such a turnout. I've looked at the different options. I've looked at option A, I've looked at option A.1, and as a real estate agent, I've looked at how capacity is going to be a problem with option A. If we look at option A, there's not enough room in the classrooms. In fact, we have no overflow classrooms for new families moving in. And I can tell you, by looking at what's happened in the last year and a half with the Prescott area, we're growing. And it's exciting. The economy is coming back. More houses are selling, families are coming in. And if we don't have that capacity for overflow in option A, our classroom sizes are going to get larger. And we're going to start reaching those 34 students per classroom and higher. And I don't know how teachers are going to be able to teach effectively, not only just watch the children and be able to pay attention to them, if that's the case. Another concern of mine is as just looking to the last year and seeing what we're seeing happen in Prescott, I know that this last year, a couple of our schools, like Abaya Judd, had to add 3 additional classrooms to handle the sudden unexpected growth in September. And many of the elementary schools in option A will be at max capacity, so we have no room for growth. So what happens? Where are we going to take the additional growth from? It's going to be our special needs. In option A, I don't see anywhere where those special needs classrooms are going to go. And they're the kids that need our most attention. I I'm for option 8.1 because it allows growth in the community and allows us to continue to grow our community and to keep the classrooms small. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jen Carter. I have 4 children in our school district. I support 8.1, smaller but better. Changes for our school district are challenging. However, I feel really strongly as parents and teachers and leaders in our school that we can make a huge difference. First, we need to have a positive attitude, and it's also going to take some thoughtful conversations with our kids. I have some kids that are concerned about going to new schools, and we need to be positive with them. But I hope that we can be smaller and better and look for the opportunity through these proposals. I really feel strongly that a 4-day school week is not the best change for our community. You can find studies that show improved academic outcome, and you can also find studies that show that it doesn't. I have a son in middle school, and the middle school kids are required to have the most hours in the classroom. So going to a 4-day week would be very challenging for that particular age. And my son already comes home from school, is riding the bus home, he starts his homework, gets home, pulls out the books immediately, and then most nights we have sports or scouts or some activities, and he doesn't have any extra time in his day to add educational minutes into his day. So this would be a stress and a burden on several families. I also think 4-day school week would create a huge financial burden for that extra day of child care. Currently, I'm blessed to stay home with my children, so I kind of think it'd be nice to have the extra day off, but I don't think that's the right thing for our community. Kids that 50 to 60% of our students get free and reduced lunch. They would go that extra day without that. There's a program in our community called Hungry Kids, and they feed 103 students in our school district over the weekend, and those students would not get meals on the Friday day off. So board, please do not consider going to a 4-day school week.
Thank you. There's a lot of people behind you. My name is Sheila Mingarelli. I currently have 2 children at Washington Elementary, which, as we've discussed, is definitely on the chopping block. Makes us sad, but I will tell you that 8.1 is the only option I feel like we have where the parents of Washington will still have a choice as to where they're sending their kids. Once you pull 6th grade back into the elementary, it fills up the other 2, and then we end up with a mega campus, and I feel like I'm being pigeonholed and told this is where you will now go. It removes those options from us, and I would just ask you to consider 8.1 so that we keep as many choices as possible.
Hi, my name is Becca Kleiner. I'm the mother of 4, a 1st grader, a 3rd grader, and 2 little ones who will eventually be PUSD students. First and foremost, I just think it's very important to say that we have amazing teachers and leadership in this district. They teach our children, they nurture them, they encourage them, and they inspire them, and above all, they love our children. And I'm confident that whatever option the board chooses, these amazing men and women will continue to do what they do so well. That being said, I want to give them and our children the best opportunities for growth, academically, mentally, and socially. That is why I support option 8.1, smaller but better. As an Abaya-Jed parent, my kids would benefit from option A as it stands. Starting in 4th grade, they would go to Granite Mountain and benefit from the programs and facilities already in place there. Honors, STEAM, sports, choir, band, lab, you've heard it all. I love that my kids are going to have these opportunities, but I don't feel comfortable with potentially denying or withholding those same opportunities from other students in the district. I want my friends' children and my children's friends to benefit in the same way my children will. We are all here because we love our children and we love this community. Let's provide each and every child in this community equal opportunity to develop their academic talents and discover their passions. Let's teach our children to seek out, desire, and advocate for equality in education and in life. This district is already great, but we can be better, not just academically, but socially and as a community. There's one thing I have learned from this whole process is that there has been a division among our schools that many of us didn't realize existed. But now we have the opportunity through 8.1 to come together to truly unify and create new and stronger communities within our schools and our towns, where every student has an equal chance at a well-rounded, well-developed education and an equal role in their school community. By creating a uniform K-4 model, a single 56th grade intermediate school, and one 7th to 8th grade middle school, each and every student will receive a valuable education, but they will
will also value their education, and above all, they will know that their community values them and their potential. This is a lesson that no book can teach, but it is one that will be written on the hearts of these children forever.
We have Pamela Martin.
My name is Pamela Martin. I'm with Miller Valley's PTO. My daughter attends Miller Valley. First, I would like to apologize. We are not prepared to talk about an 8.1. We're not informed about all of the options. They sound great. I'm here to talk about option B. First off, I like to let you know I drive 50 miles round trip every single day so my daughter can go to Miller Valley, not another school, because they offer things that I need my child to learn about real life. Second, I would like to let you know we at Miller Valley do not feel like we're part of the unified school district here. Like I said, we do not know about the 8.1. We just now started talking to the other PTOs. We're not part of this family, and we would like to be. Third, I would like to present the board with petitions. We keep hearing about, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. A survey that went out. I've talked to most of my parents. We know of no such survey that went out, so I went and did my own. I have 1,162 names for option B. We are not as organized, it seems, as option 8.1, but I will start out and let you know what Miller Valley offers. First, we currently have an SEI grant, which is, the SEI stands for Structured English Immersion. This grant pays for our ELL teacher, Peter Dorsey, which pays for his salary and benefits, which the district does not have to worry about. I understand that all of our teachers are qualified to teach those, but not on a one-to-one. And if we go to option A, I believe our classes will be overfilled, not to get that one-on-one action with our ELL students. Kids is
Time, so I'm sorry. Thank you.
I want to thank the DLT and the board for walking us through this very difficult budget cut process. We are deeply concerned because we believe that we're at a historic tipping point of public school education where teachers, administrators, and classified staff have been asked to go above and beyond the call of duty more and more each year for the past several years due to budget cuts and salary freezes. And the results are devastating. A recent Arizona Republic article had this headline: Arizona schools, 527 job vacancies at crisis levels. Another article stated that 64 school districts in Arizona had lost about 2,100 teachers after last school year. Low pay and tough new expectations for teachers have led to a shortage of qualified people willing to take jobs in Arizona's classrooms. Because the economy has improved, many are leaving teaching for jobs that pay more and are less stressful, the article said. Over the past 2 years, PUSD has lost over 90 staff and teachers. Those are historic numbers for us. As important and as fair as raises would be, that speaks to our need for financial capital. But it's not our greatest need. It would take years and years of 3% raises to get our salaries back to an equitable level. We cannot wait that long. Please don't misunderstand me. What you did last year was amazing, and bless you for it. But please keep working for our need. On our need for financial capital. But we need your intervention now for something even more important. The most serious educational challenge we face in this community is the PUSD staff's need for emotional capital. Relief from the stress caused by expectations to do more and more each year with less and less. People we know and love, gifted educators who have been asked to do too much for too long, are leaving the profession they love and have been part of for years and are being replaced by many inexperienced teachers. The continued loss of experience will have a negative impact on student scores. Budget cut options A through C expect our staff to give more with less, as we've done for years. A continued depletion of our emotional capital. The 4-day-week option is the only option on the table. Please vote for 4 days. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tara Scheibel. I'm a parent of a student at Miller Valley Elementary. I want to talk about the 21st Century Grant because that's a huge thing. We were given the $500,000 to provide free before and after school tutoring for our students. And if they participate in the free tutoring, then they also have free enrichment classes. My son started this year one full grade level below in reading, and he had no confidence. And due to the tutoring, as well as his 504 plan and Title I, his confidence has skyrocketed. And it has changed his life so much for the better. And he loves his enrichment classes. And we have robotics. We have gardening. We have so many wonderful enrichment classes. And as a single parent, and we have the highest percentage of free and reduced lunches in the district. And these are parents, including myself, that wouldn't be able to otherwise afford the tutoring and the enrichment classes. And I know they offer them at other schools, we had them last year, and they were $42 a semester. So then I pay the $42 for the semester, and on top of it, I have to pay for after-school care. And the 21st Century Grant saves me that money. And I know with times being as tough as they are financially for everyone, that is huge for me. We took away Kids and Company, which was much more economically workable for me. And so you put all those things together, and I wouldn't otherwise be able to afford it. My son loves his after-school stuff. He actually loves tutoring. So please, don't close Miller Valley, because if you do, you'll be throwing away our grant, and you'll be throwing away these activities that our children need so badly. Thank you.
I am Shelley Baker, a PUSD educator, speaking in favor of the 4-day week option. Our PUSD family has been asked to do so much for so long in the face of many budget cuts, shrinking resources, higher expectations, and frozen salaries. I realize that many of these challenges come at us from non-local sources, over which we have very little control, leaving our PUSD family exhausted, overburdened, stressed, fearful, emotionally spent, and quite frustrated. Our greatest need for years has been emotional capital, relief from the stress caused by expectations to do more and more each year with less and less. And now we are asked to shoulder the burden of $2.1 million in cuts. These cuts are not your fault, but the decision of what we are going to do about these cuts is squarely on your shoulders. You have an opportunity to do so much good for so many. If you do not choose the 4-day week option, then what will be your plan to meet the emotional capital needs of our people who every day touch the lives of our children? I wholeheartedly believe that is the primary reason why teachers are leaving the teaching profession here in Prescott. We don't really put students first by keeping our staff last. Please have the courage to not look away from our greatest need at this time, or let the voices of a few stop you from hearing cries from a majority of our PUSD families asking for change. The only option on the budget cut table today that responds to the need of our people for emotional capital is the 4-day week option. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. My name is Mike Daniels. I'm involved heavily in the community and the lives of our children in this community. Although I'm not an educator, I come from a family of educators. My mom taught for 31 years for Maple Public Schools. My father's a 5th grade teacher. My stepmother, before she passed, was a 5th grade teacher. My sister was a kindergarten teacher, or was a kindergarten teacher until she went home to teach her own children. My brother-in-law is a director for Hamilton High School music program. My best friend is an administrator in Washington. I understand, I think, with a depth that comes from the life I've lived and the things I've seen, the role that educators play in the classroom. For what it's worth, my family and I support option A1. I didn't end up on that card. I apologize for any interruptions in the schedule, but again, I appreciate the opportunity to speak. It's a very plausible, available, affordable, doable, and positive option for our community. We can be better than we were. Maybe this was the catalyst we all needed to wake up to the unparalleled importance of public education, to realize the power and influence we have when we stand and act together, when we adopt service to others above self. and especially where that service to others is service to our children. I have 4 children, 2 of whom are enrolled in the district, 2 of whom will eventually be enrolled. And this is our opportunity to call our state representatives to action in a way, by community action, to show them that we can make a difference for our children and a difference in their education and eventually a difference in all that they do and their life to come. Thank you.
I'm Mark Baker, a PUSD educator, speaking in favor of the 4-day week. Based upon the research I gathered from 3 different 4-day week school districts which I passed on to you folks, it has been the centerpiece for fueling their rise from demoralizing budget cuts, bringing a wave of energy, excitement, space for renewal, emotional capital, and is enthusiastically supported by 85 to 95% of their parents, students, and staff, which has been profoundly good for their students. Morale is up, test scores are up. One 4-day district had the highest game scores in Arizona last year. Enrollment is up, attendance is up, referrals are down, and staff recruitment is easier. If you approve the 4-day week, we are willing to roll up our sleeves and to help with the transition. I have a list of 50 administrators, counselors, teachers, and classified staff representing every school in our district already signed up saying that if you approve the 4-day week, we will help, whatever it takes. This is an impressive list of people that I submit to you tonight. And rather than only embracing options that represent loss, like options A, B, and C, the 4-day week option has a lot of news, good news, that can help make the PUSD family even brighter, to give them a more exciting future than we've ever experienced. If it can happen for our neighboring school districts, it can happen for us. One assistant superintendent I interviewed said this: "We are happy with the results regardless of the savings. Recruiting teachers is easier. Our staff loves it. Our administration loves it. Our parents love it. And even if we became crazy flush with money, or if our enrollment went through the ceiling, the 4-day week has become so institutionalized in our community, I don't ever see us going back to a 5-day week." End quote. I support this paradigm shift with a proven track record for fueling positive change and renewal. For the good of the many, please vote for the 4-day week, and we'll be willing to help. Thank you.
My name is Dave McGee. I'm a former teacher. My wife and I both taught 25 years in the district, and all of our kids went to this district. So what I want to talk to right now is this. I know that the financial straits are bad right now. I don't believe it's going to last forever, and I don't believe in radical things happening because I think it's going to smooth out. But, and personally, I would be in favor of not closing any schools because I think smaller schools are like smaller classrooms. They're more intimate, and you're able to get together as a family of teachers and kids and parents. And the Miller Valley School has always been a family, and I think from the people I've heard, it still is today, even though I'm not involved anymore. But the advantage of Miller Valley and not closing it, for one thing, it's got more classrooms. It's got like 24 classrooms. It's got more parking. It's got more playground space. It's less dangerous in a fire because it's only 1 story and not 2 stories. It's had additions every 20 years. Every 20 years there's been an addition to that school. And it's handicap accessible. And for all these reasons, I believe that it would be a mistake to close that school because, like the realtor said, the area is growing and you're going to need that space, and it'd be a lot cheaper than building a new school in the long run. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Andy Andre. I'm a PUSD educator. And first off, I'd like to thank you guys for serving the community in this trying time. I'm here to talk about the 4-day week. Business experts say that job satisfaction is number 1 in keeping employees. It's not pay, it's job satisfaction, followed closely by work environment. And PUSD has always had this in the past, so we are in danger of losing this. Teachers have been, with budget cuts, teachers have been asked to do more and more with less and less resources. We are grading more. We have the common core standards. critical thinking, all the stuff we need to do. We have less time. We're stressed. One thing you can give us is time, and that's through the 4-day week. You can get our job satisfaction back to us. We need time to grade, time to plan engaging lessons and active lessons, time to look at the data from Galileo, which we don't have time to do right now, and time to have a social life. I'd love to take my wife out on a date night once in a while. She didn't hear that though. We can't do that now, guys. So we just love for you guys to think about that when you're making your decision, just to give us time, and we can get through this together. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Marilyn Houghton, and I'm glad I'm on this side instead of that side right now. I've always thought school board, worst job in the entire world, right at the top of my list. So, yeah. And then second is teacher in Prescott. Oh, God, you know? So, the reason I'm here, I actually no longer have any students in PUSD. The last one graduated in 2010. They all went from kindergarten on to Miller Valley, Mile High, and Prescott High School. Rachel is the oldest. She graduated in 2004. Then graduated from Harvey Mudd College, honors with high distinction, and last year got her PhD from MIT. She is a solar energy specialist. Lily graduated from U of A, Sigma Cum Laude, is in her last year at U of A, PharmD, so she will get her doctorate next year. Sam couldn't handle college, but is the most fantastic musician, which a lot of people here will attest to that have heard him play. He is the best trumpet player, composer, currently in Austin, Texas. Does studio work, teaches music lessons, plays on the street, whatever he can. But he found his passion for music here at this school. I've asked all my kids, when I asked Rachel one time, why chemistry? You know, she came home, she's going to take advanced chemistry. Like, why? And I had to go talk to her teacher. It's like she's the best chemistry student in the school now. Really? Oh, my time is up. All I want to say is I'll always be a part of the PUSD family. I lived in those schools. I was on A+ committees and all the things, and Miller Valley is like your heart and soul.
I'm Tom Slayback. I'm not here to speak in favor or against any of the options. I believe that you will make the right choice after listening to the public. However, there is an associated issue that greatly concerns me, and that is the loss of our local history. During the last 40 years, the bulldozer has taken out many of our historic buildings. And I have heard several of you on the board state that if you do close Washington School, you want to sell it. I implore you not to sell it, but instead, please find a repurpose for that building. It's more than 100 years old, and I would hope that the repurposing would be something that benefits the general public. Thank you.
Hello, board members. My name is Jenny Donahue, and I have a 9-year-old boy at Miller Valley School. It's his second year here, and he's so happy. This was not the case prior to moving to Prescott and Miller Valley. Today, I'd like to focus on the Breakfast in the Classroom program. Personally, getting our son ready for school and having him eat a good breakfast was very difficult. Now he looks forward to going to school and is trying new good-for-him foods. He's excelling in his studies, and he enjoys learning. I attribute this to, one, Miller Valley being such a loving environment for each other and for learning, and two, to the Breakfast in the Classroom for all students. We could not be more in love with this program, and to be honest, we would pay for it. but the benefit of it being free for all students is outstanding. Hungry children are unable to focus on school, and it can be disruptive and detrimental to everyone's learning. And let's admit it, we have hungry students and financially struggling families in the Yavapai County. By offering breakfast to all students, some of the stigma of eating school breakfast is eliminated, and I understand it's reducing the administrative burdens for the schools operating the school breakfast program under one of AID's special assistance programs. I also understand this program has decreased tardiness by 66%. That's huge, right? And outside of it being healthy and beneficial to the learning, it's helping tremendously at bridging social and economic boundaries. So whatever the choice is, whatever the option, as we combine students, please keep this program for everyone.
My name is Monica Rodardi, and I am an employee of Granite Mountain Middle School. I'm not here today to give an opinion on one of the options because I don't have a child in school. I know the parents here all have their opinions, so I'll let them take care of that portion of it. I understand that the board has a daunting task of coming up with $2.1 million. However, I have to ask if it was fiscally responsible for the board and the district office to give out $1.5 million in raises over the next 2 school years, knowing the current fiscal financial state. I understand employees haven't had raises in years. And I know that teachers are not here to get rich. Teachers are here because they love children and they want to give back to the community and give back to our future resource, which is our children. However, I don't think that closing 2 schools and restructuring the entire school district, I think that defeats the purpose of attracting and retaining employees. I think if employees had the choice of going without a raise or closing schools, I think that they would go without the raise. Also, I have to ask if it was financially responsible to be paying $250,000 for all-day kindergartners when we are only required to offer half-day. Parents should be responsible for paying that portion of their child's education, which is less expensive than paying for daycare. In the plans, you also note district office restructuring. I'd like to know what that entails, how many employees are actual employees of the DO, what their names are, titles, and salaries. Have you considered outsourcing any of some of the functions like payroll or IT help, so that a company would take care of that instead of having employees doing that within the district office? With the district in the current financial state, why is there not a hiring freeze? There are currently 26 open positions. Why would you not reach out to current employees that might not be returning next year and possibly fill those with new staff? With regard to open employment or open enrollment, I don't understand why the district continues to, in closing, I just want to ask Mr. Smucker and Mr. Howard if you would consider taking a pay cut in order to retain some teachers.
Hello, my name is Paul Mitchell, and I live here in Prescott. And as I was standing in line, I realized I better come clean. I was on the Chino Valley School Board when we adopted the 4-day work week. Yeah. So I'm here to say that I'm still standing, and so is the district. But I don't want to dilute my message with that comment tonight because I'm here to talk about Miller Valley, but I did want to share with you that I have been on that side of the table, and I do appreciate the work that you're doing to make this decision, and I thank you all for being here tonight. For the past 4 years, I've been fortunate enough to volunteer regularly at Miller Valley Elementary School. And those of us who work closely with the school recognize the special, supportive culture that lives at that school. The school slogan, "Loving to learn and learning to love," was the philosophy of a beloved former principal, and it has become internalized by those who work there. It is a place in this school district that welcomes the other, whether that be folks from diverse ethnic and economic backgrounds or whatever special needs kids and families might have. They are welcome at Miller Valley. There is more to a school. There is more to a school than buildings, may I say, than property value, and Miller Valley staff and families know that. They act with each other in a caring and sensitive way. And I'm not saying that other schools don't intend to share love with their kids. I am saying that to deliver that love to all without judgment and inappropriately compensating takes a special community. Miller Valley is one of those special communities and deserves to continue to exist. I want to tell you that I hope you still see options, and I hope that you choose option B.
My name's Tweety Ngo, and I'm a parent of 2 PHS students and a former classroom teacher of 12 years. I'm here to address the school board on an item that is embedded in all the proposals, and that is the restructuring of Prescott High School to save $300,000. I'd like to ask everyone in this room to make note of this. Unlike the closing of an elementary school or the repurposing of a middle school, the restructuring of PHS is the one item that would be shouldered completely on the backs of our teachers. Yes, the high school needs to play a part in the overall budget reduction, but it is how we will achieve that savings that needs your consideration. On the surface, the restructuring entails reducing 6 teaching positions. But in order to reduce the 6 positions, we will ask our teachers to extend their workday, increase their workload by teaching an extra class. This would mean that a full-time teacher who used to teach 5 classes would now teach 6 classes in order for us to eliminate one position for every 6 teachers. A teacher who currently teaches 5 classes of 30 students, or about 150 students, could potentially see their workload increase to 6 classes or 180 students. It may mean teaching nonstop from the start of the school day to the end of the school day with a prep period at the beginning or at the end of the day. Most troubling in all of this is that we are asking our teachers to do this without any extra compensation. I urge the board to reconsider this item. Send it back. Could we create a plan that could include incentives to compensate our teachers and to teach an extra section? In closing, I know my time's up, it's easy to make a buck, but it's a lot tougher to make a difference.
Hi, I'm Rachel Chunglo, and I'm a kindergarten teacher at Miller Valley. I also have a kindergartner at Taylor Hicks. I'm here to speak against the board's choice with option A. I'm not here simply to save my school or because I'm worried about my job. I know that I'll be the best teacher I can be regardless of my location. I'm here because as a teacher, I am an advocate for my students, and as such, I feel compelled to speak for them tonight. When the options were presented to the board, it was said that all the choices were in the best interest of students. I respectfully disagree. Displacing 1,200 students rather than 600 is not in the best interest of students. Relocating not one, but 2 best programs and moving them into facilities that are not equipped for them is not in the best interest of students. Losing a $500,000 grant that is helping many of our underprivileged students get the remediation that they need is not in the best interest of students. Having a giant 6-section school where many of our students will feel overwhelmed by the sheer size is not in the best interest of students. I have already witnessed numerous students crying because they are worried for the future, worried they'll be split up from friends, worried of what a new school will bring. These are not students that are excited for the potential that these options hold. These are students whose lives are being needlessly interrupted. The difference between options A and B is $60,000. While that number is not insignificant, it seems pathetically small when you consider the money that will be needed to renovate Granite Mountain, the loss of the $500,000 grant, and the amount of lives that the option A will disrupt. If we truly are a district that puts students first, we need to be supporting option B and looking at other ways to make up the difference.
We have a fine music program here, and I want to just let you know how the changes would affect music. If we put the 6th graders and we split them up to multiple schools, it's going to be very difficult to offer what we currently do. Currently, every 6th grader can have band, orchestra, or choir every day. We don't have any instrumental music in the elementary school because when we moved to the middle school, that was part of the plan, and it worked really well. Currently, it's been a successful program. I was here starting in 1986, and I taught over at Washington School, and we had 6th and 5th grade band over there. It was really difficult. Once we got the middle school with all the 6th graders in one place, we tripled the number of kids in band, and we retained them through the years. So, as far as scheduling and staffing a music program with 3 sites of 6th grade is gonna be difficult. I totally understand, and I really thank you all. You've been very supportive. All the people in this district have been so supportive of music and the arts. But I would like to tell you, there's a reason that we've had our success, and it's kind of because of planning and things we've done along the way. So I'd like to just keep that in mind, that, you know, if we break things up, it's gonna be really difficult to make it happen. But, good luck to you. It's a difficult job. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Steve Silvernail. I've been a resident of Prescott now for 40 years. Both of my sons went through PUSD, top to bottom, and they were very successful. I've got some serious concerns. One, I'm not going to thank you for my ability to speak. In civics class, I learned that was our citizens' ability to speak. So, one of the concerns I have with this Board of Education is that we're not allowed to interact with you at these meetings, and I think that's an absolute mistake. Take a look around. These people are all engaged, and they want to be engaged, and they need to be engaged. Maybe if they were engaged earlier, we wouldn't be at this, because this is no surprise. This is a fiscal calamity that's been heading towards us like a runaway train, and the guys that we are paying, the administration, to make sure that this doesn't happen, aren't keeping it from happening. And the people that we have on the board that we voted for to represent us haven't watched over them. That's the admonition for you guys. For the rest of you, you need to be engaged in our kids. You need to be concerned about what's going on. The number one killer, and by the way, I'm a supporter of public schools. I think when you degrade your enrollment, you lose such an ability to do wonderful things with your kids. Our school system, has lost my 11-year-old granddaughter. She is now with basis. I think that's tragedy, but I know that she's going to get a good education. The number one thing that's killing our public school system is the funding. We, as parents and citizens, we need to address the state and stop this madness of how they fund the education for our kids.
Good evening, my name is Nicole Garrett. I'm new to the school board and the whole PTO kind of system. My son's a kindergartner at Taylor Hicks. I have a 3-year-old daughter enrolled at Discovery Gardens, which is also located on the Taylor Hicks campus. I want to speak partially on the support of option A1. I've heard a lot of talk about the Title I funds being lost, Miller Valley's closure. However, the Title I funding would more than likely be granted to not 1 but 3 schools under A1, which would mean $1.5 million gain for our students. And that would be 21st century grant, bring our kids up to speed. Also, A1 sounds like a more permanent solution. It allows for growth. As a military veteran, I'm sick of seeing Band-Aids put on problems. If we can allow for growth, give us time to look for a more permanent solution. We can evaluate why we're losing students. I know one of the problems is the charter schools. People are being attracted to them for the better educations that they see. But we need to evaluate our district and restructure, and we obviously need to be more competitive and stop losing our students to these surrounding charter schools. I just jotted down notes because I was standing in line making sure I have it all. But like I said, I'm new to this whole thing. I felt compelled to speak tonight. I've been in the elementary school system for less than 1 semester now, so with the potential of being here for the next 14 and a half years. I do feel it's to support my kids. If I don't speak for them, who will?
Good evening. My name is Karen Hughes. I teach 2nd grade over at Lincoln School. I've worked in PUSD for about 14 years. I've had 3 of my children go through the district schools. This is difficult. This circumstance we are in is hard. People have a lot of feelings they don't know what to do with or how to process. It's important to me to acknowledge and recognize these feelings. I have been a part of the District Leadership Council since its inception. For the past year, every meeting has been devoted to this topic. We have continued to discuss What will the 15-16 school year look like? We've taken surveys, we've held brainstorming sessions, we've prioritized lists of ideas. We have been thoughtful, it's been a process with many ideas and many people involved. We knew it was going to be tough and there are big decisions to make. Here we are 2 weeks from a decision. There's been a tornado of information lately. I can't answer the unknowns for this option or that option. There are so many questions. I can't give my opinions on all of the details, at least not right now. As classroom teachers, I do know that we will welcome and love, before we ever even meet them, every one of our students in the 15-16 school year. We will continue to worry and fret over every individual student's growth. We will help each other rebuild our classrooms. We're still going to celebrate staff birthdays with potlucks, no matter what school we land at. We will welcome a brand new team member to our school. We'll wear the colors of whichever school we work at. This is going to be difficult, it will be hard, maybe even painful for some of us. Restructure feels like a bad diagnosis. But we are not restructuring, please don't take this wrong, because of a natural disaster. We are not restructuring because we lost the school in a fire. We are not restructuring because of a horrible crime on school grounds. No matter what option we look at, I am going to choose to look at this as a rebirth of one of the longest standing and best districts in this state. I wish the board's strength and clarity. I don't envy your position right now, but I have faith in our ability as a district to get through this.
There are 5 names on this, is that right? Are you all going to speak in order? In order, yes. Okay. I'm Joanne Schaefer. I am a mother of a 6th grader here at Mile High, and I also have a 4th grader at Washington. I'm also the PTA president at Washington. Thank you for allowing us to give you our public input. As the Washington PTA, we hope that you will listen sincerely and will have an open mind for gathering factual information that will guide you in making decisions that will have the most positive and least negative impact on our students. Washington staff and parents and students have chosen to present our case to you. The PTA presented you with notebooks with factual information and data supporting what has been taking place at our school, of our obvious, overwhelming feelings about seeing our beloved Washington close. With that being said, it has been tremendously painful for our Washington family. There are 3 schools that have been proposed for closing: Granite Mountain, Miller Valley, and Washington. As for Granite Mountain, the plan is to combine them with Mile High Middle School. As difficult as that will be, Granite Mountain students will not be divided 2 or 3 ways to go to different schools. All of the 7-8 students will go together and be combined in Mile High. Their academic programs and remaining staff will stay intact in their new combined school. For Washington and Miller Valley, we are asking for the same thoughtful consideration. Our preference is to combine with Miller Valley in a new K-6 elementary school. As to location, it appears from the board direction in the previous meeting that there is a desire to repurpose Granite Mountain in some sort of elementary school. Plan A calls for a K-3 at Abaya Judd and a 4-6 at Granite Mountain. As Washington PTA, we have some concerns to the proposal and are recommending modified Plan A. Please listen carefully to those who will be presenting from Washington before you make your final decision. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Paul Catan, and for the record, I am not a PUSD parent, but you know what, there's enough friends in the room that I want to share. We're expecting our first baby in April. And for the record, I really want to be a Prescott Schools parent. I've been involved in the community a long time. I'm currently speaking as a Washington Site Council member. I've also served on Granite Mountains and Miles High's Site Council, as well as providing community support and health education to Prescott Schools for the last 7 years. I'm sure I can say with confidence that everyone here is because we want what's best for the students in the community and in Prescott Schools. I'm confident of that. Short of being able to donate the $2 million myself and save the closure of 2 of my absolute favorite schools, my heart is with Miller Valley and with Washington. I mean, really. I'm here representing the decision of the Site Council to recommend option A with a modification. On October 30th, the Washington Site Council voted to support Plan A with the following modification. Instead of creating a K-3 at Abaya Judd and a 4-6 at Granite Mountain for the students from Washington, Miller Valley, and Abaya Judd, the Washington Site Council recommends that Abaya Judd remain a K-6 school and create a new combined Washington Miller Valley K-6 school at the Granite Mountain campus. In consideration of all the options presented, this provides for a unified K-6 approach for all elementary schools, and as I believe people are intending, would prove to be the least disruptive to the students, their families, and the learning process. short of closing schools, right? We all recognize that stuff. So it does not impact Lincoln, Taylor, Hicks, or Abaya Judd. It provides students and families whose schools have closed with the opportunity to unite on a wonderful new campus for a new start. Also, as one who has witnessed the academic leadership and advances of both Miller Valley and Washington in recent years, it seems that the educational product of a blended Washington-Miller Valley K-6 school at the Granite Mountain campus would be an asset to the Prescott Unified School District and the community. Thank you.
Okay, I can't see you, but I can see my paper, so this is how it's going. My name's Pam Percival. I've been involved at Washington School for over 19 years. I have 3 children that went through PUSD. Although Washington parents and staff favor the K-6 model, if you choose to go with Plan A with a K-3 at Abaya Judd and a 4-6 at Granite Mountain, there are 3 factors I'd like you to think about. Number 1, Abaya Judd is smaller than Granite Mountain. It will have 24 sections, and Granite Mountain will have 18 sections. A K-2 at Abaya Judd campus and a 3-6 at Granite Mountain would be a better use of space. Secondly, 3rd grade is the first year students take the state assessment, previously known as the AIMS, this year AZ Merit. Having a 3-6 school would allow for collaboration between the testing grade levels. Thirdly, blended learning requires 2 grade levels for a team. A 3rd through 6th grade intermediate school is better suited for effective use of blended learning, allowing for a 3rd and 4th grade team and a 5th and 6th grade team. Likewise, the K-2 school format would allow for kindergarten to be self-contained and a 1st and 2nd grades have a blended learning. I was at a balanced leadership meeting last Friday when our superintendent, Dave Smucker, did his presentation. This quote came up and reminded me of the importance of having as little disruption for students and families as possible. When leaders miscalculate the magnitude of change, it can have a negative impact on student achievement. The modification to Plan A, moving Washington and Miller Valley students to the Granite Mountain campus in a K-6 school, is the least disruptive model for all PUSD students, staff, and families.
Hi, I'm Penny Nicholas. I've taught at Washington School for 47 years so far, and we thank you, the governing board, for nominating Washington's Blended Learning Program for consideration for the Arizona School Board Association's Golden Bell Award. We are also pleased to announce, for those of you who are not aware, that Washington's Blended Learning Model was selected as the state's first place winner for the Golden Bell Award for Innovative Program. As a teacher, I'd like to share with you my perspective and experience in the implementation of the Blended Learning Program. Our teachers are allowed to teach to the joy of their passion, and I could teach for the second half of my career teaching only language arts and reading. RTI academic interventions take place in the instructional lab instead of during teacher-directed instructional time. Most testing is done in the instructional lab, resulting in more time for teachers in the classroom. There is immediate feedback from the computer-based testing, which allows teachers to address gaps in student performances with prompt follow-up instruction. The instructional lab provides for the most authentic and effective method of providing differentiated instruction and learning. Using the lab rotation option in the blended learning model has allowed Washington to generate an approximate annual 16% savings in classroom teacher positions. The first 3 years of implementation has resulted in more than $250,000 savings to the district. Whichever option the board chooses to do, we are asking that a component of blended learning be allowed to continue in the school or schools that Washington students are placed from 1st grade through 6th grade. Thank you.
My name is Marcy Boone. I have been at Washington School for the last 10 years. I have 3 students who have all graduated from Prescott. 3 children, who have all graduated from Prescott High School. Thank you for your willingness to listen to each of us as you gather information for this very difficult decision that is before you. I would also like to extend our gratitude to Abaya Judd, approximately a week and a half ago, who extended a warm welcome to us that if Washington and Miller Valley students and staff were placed in their school, that we would be welcome. This meant a great deal to each of us, and I would like to thank Abaya Judd for their gracious open arms.
First, I would like to address the new proposal that Lincoln, Taylor Hicks, and Abaya Judd become K-4 schools with 5th and 6th graders attending Granite prior to moving to Mile High for 7th and 8th grade. Our main concern with this proposal is the impact this would have on students at Abaya Judd, Miller Valley, and Washington. It appears that the students from our schools would be divided among 3 schools. The proposed boundary changes would limit the choices for displaced Washington and Miller Valley students, causing families, friends, and staff to also be divided. Throughout this process, it has been repeatedly shared that the goal is to not only save money, but also keep student needs at the forefront of whatever decision is put into place. Out of the modifications proposed to Plan A, this causes the most significant disruptions to students and staff. Secondly, I would like to specifically address how this would affect our Washington families. During the last 3 years, we have developed a culture of learning throughout our schools, focusing on the use of technology to best meet the academic needs of our struggling, on-grade level, and gifted students. The blended learning model has effectively allowed students to be taught by teachers who are passionate and knowledgeable about the subject they are teaching. This expertise, looping with math students using technology to guide instruction and intervention, have all resulted in soaring aims in National STAR and reading tests. My greatest concern is about the future of blended learning in PUSD. If the students and staff are divided over 3 campuses, how would blended learning continue? I would implore you as a board to select the option that disrupts the least amount of students. Thank you.
Evening, my name is James Tracy. I have 3 children going to school here in the district. My children love this school and are learning a lot. So, of course, when I heard that due to budget issues, Washington School was going to be closed, I'm sure like everybody else here, we were incredibly sad to hear that. However, I understand something must be done. The school board, I empathize with you in the past before you. It's one of the hardest responsibilities that is placed in your hands as the overseers of our school district and all the students and educators involved. No matter what you decide here, there's no decision that'll please everyone in this room at all. So you know. I commend you for taking the time to hear from all these people today. However, as a Marine, I have also had to make many tough choices. And to be in the position you are right now, no answer is going to fix it all. So due to my time spent in combat, collateral damage is a subject I'm well versed in. And all we can do now for our kids is to minimize the damage that's already started by talking about all of this change. We must accept that there are some hard choices and sacrifices to make here. I understand all the passionate pleas. It kind of bothers me a little bit. There's kind of a us versus them thing going on. I think we definitely need to band together for the good of our children to make sure that I wish to voice my support for the modification that's been presented by the speakers in front of me. I don't have time to go into more details, but I'm sure you guys have already spent countless hours looking through all the proposals. So by choosing this modification, the entire Miller Valley community and the entire Washington community will stay cohesive unit together and not be split up, which I think is very important to our children especially. It'll minimize the psychological damage to these children because of more and more changes that they'll have to go through. So, wrapping it up, no matter what you choose, it's going to damage and upset some people, but I implore you to choose the option that will give our kids the least disruption possible. Thank you.
My name is Carolyn Bryan, and I've been a reading and spelling tutor for the last 3 years at Miller Valley School. So I come as an observer more than a parent, but a concerned citizen. And for the options that were at my disposal to look at on your website, I really strongly support option B. For many of the reasons that you've already heard, I won't go into detail, but I will re-outline what seems important to me, that fewer students would be disrupted by keeping the Washington students transferring in mass to Miller Valley, that there would not be need for new construction to retrofit schools for special needs kids because they already exist at Miller Valley, that the $500,000 21st Century Learning Grant would not be lost, which has been put to such good use as you have heard testimony to, and as I have been witness to myself. And the pilot, it's a pilot in classroom breakfast program that is being run there. And you've heard the benefits of that as well. It could serve as a model for all schools in the future. That would disappear. The $500,000 grant would disappear were Miller Valley to close. There is room to incorporate more students at Miller Valley without need for new construction. It was recently given new security structures and alarms and fences, so it's a safe place to be. And that's it.
I'm Lindsay Lowry, and I have 3 kids in the school district. And I wasn't planning on getting up today, but I heard a lot of things that made me want to come up and share some thoughts that I don't feel like are being expressed. We all know there's going to be a lot of change for all of our kids, no matter which plan is picked. But I want to stand against the 4-day school week, because they're going to have so much change already. To change their schedule that significantly, so a 4-day week has a lot of negative impacts. And I completely understand the educators that have come up and expressed their support for it. I know that they're tired, and we don't want them burnt out. They're there teaching our kids, and we love and support those teachers. So there are a lot of educators that are against that 4-day school week as well. It makes for a really long day with their prep period beforehand and after school, trying to fit that all in. It makes for a really long day for them. But it also has, I think, more of a negative impact to our families and our community and our students than it has a positive impact. A lot of our kids participate in after-school programs that help them to grow and develop just as much as what they're getting in the schools. And if they are at school for a longer day, those programs either have to be shortened in the evenings or they're starting later, and I just feel like it's going to limit their ability to participate in the sports and other after-school programs. If the students are having to, like our high school students, if they're having to travel for sport or events out of Prescott, trying to make up those minutes that they are required to have is going to become even harder in a 4-day week. And a lot of our students, especially the older students, are stressed about the 4-day week. They already are so busy, they already have homework, especially our honors students, that to condense all of that down is just going to make their day not positive, and we have enough change happening already that I think that we need to not add one more piece by going to a 4-day.
Hi, my name is Terry Coughlin, and I currently have a son who is a junior at CHS. He went to Miller Valley and Granite Mountain. I work in the office at Miller Valley Elementary, and I am the site coordinator for the 21st Century Before and After School Grant Program. I'm very proud to be the coordinator for such a wonderful program that truly focuses on our children. The grant provides 75 to 100 children at our school daily with safe, fun, and engaging tutoring and enrichment classes. Best of all, these classes are free for our families. There were many, many hours of hard work and dedication involved in the application process of this grant, and many more getting the program up and running. Miller Valley is ecstatic that we were chosen, so please don't throw this all away. It is more than just saying, oh, we can apply for another grant in the future. This is now, and this is for our children. Looking into our future with option B and the next 4 years of our grant, it would only gain enrollment with the addition of students from Washington Elementary and become a bigger, better program for our entire school and a great example for the Prescott Unified School District. We are up for the challenge. Please give us this chance to continue to share this amazing opportunity with our even more amazing Miller Valley family. Please consider looking at option B. Our children need this, our families need this, and our school district needs this.
I wasn't planning on speaking at all, but decided that I need to speak up for my children. I have 3 children, I have a kindergartner and two second graders at a Bella Judd, and they are tired when they come home. I cannot support a 4-day work week. They're exhausted. They won't be able to do homework, they won't be able to read at night. They love those things, and I love to see them when they come home, and I won't be able to see them as much because they will be reviewed. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I can't support the 4-day work week today.
Hi, I'm Lisa Dockenhausen. I need your sheet. Do you have your sheet? I do have it. Can I give it to you?
Oh, you're not sure?
I'm not sure which option is best for our kids, but I'm inclined not to be for option 8.1 because I'm not sure that smaller but better, I know they keep saying that over and over, but we don't actually have a model of whether or not that would work. I think keeping kids in elementary school K through 6 is a great idea. I think they're known, they're loved, they're part of that community. Their growth is noticed and observed over years. I do know that children thrive and grow in this environment. They're allowed to be with their siblings longer, and they have fewer transitions and fewer disruptions. They will become united in middle school, and I think consistency grows great kids. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration.
My name is Lisa Hosking, and I am thankful to have been a teacher here at Mile High and to currently serve as an instructional coach for the two amazing staffs at Miller Valley and Washington. I am also the parent of two freshmen, one at PHS and one at ASU. I support option 8.2 or B.3 or even Plan C if it is born of the ideas that you've heard here this evening and an innovative and open mindset. We have a remarkable opportunity to turn tragedy into triumph that will be probably and hopefully never come around again. It's time to think about Education 2.0. The blended learning model and the 21st century grants are two remarkable successes that have served our children that need them the most. Additionally, it would be wise to consider the needs of your greatest asset, your dedicated and caring staff. So while I deeply appreciate the hard work that you've already done, I believe more thinking and creativity is called for. I moved here 8 years ago for a better life for my family, and I have found it in this remarkable community. Please roll up your sleeves and continue the work you've already started.
Good evening. My name is Christina Rutter, and I have two children in the Prescott Unified School District. I think everyone in this room understands the difficulties and weight of the decision placed on your shoulders. Unfortunately, we also all understand that whatever decision is made, not everyone will be happy. I want to thank you for taking on this challenge and listening to all the concerns in order to make a logical, clear, and comprehensive decision. As I said, I have two children in the school district. All I ask is that there be a recommendation to exclude Washington from the school closures. I believe that there's been a lot of voice and opinion to keep the other schools open, but I don't think there have been some considerations taken with the Washington schools. The current recommendations options take other schools off the chopping block, which are within 5 to 8 miles of one another. That means that the students will have a minor impact on their transportation or commute to and from these schools. The fact of distance and transportation for the families living in the Yavapai Hills and surrounding areas has not been addressed at all in any of the meetings or in this discussion tonight. Currently, our fourth graders on the bus for approximately 35 to 45 minutes to get from our designated bus stop to school. The schools remaining on the other various recommendations will require our school-age students as young as 5 years old to commute 45 to 60 minutes on a bus. The students of Washington School have proven their ability to succeed and grow intellectually, winning awards and setting academic standards across the state. The long hours to get to and from school at times will greatly affect their future performance and work against the mission and vision of the Prescott Unified School District. If I had a choice, my support would go to A1. However, after speaking with many other parents, we've already looked at the options of removing our students from the Unified School District and placing them either in homeschool or charter school environments.
Hello, my name is Michelle Shaw, and I had planned to speak to the team, but I want to get back to the point where everyone realizes that we're in an awful situation. And if we didn't ask for this, then neither did you. I appreciate your time and energy in putting forth our best interest in all the children, and that means all the children. The reality is that one door has to close and another door has to open. If I'd like to get back to anything more importantly, it's that they've been sixth grade. They're at this pivotal age where, they're not little kids anymore. They're not big kids. And putting the grand amount together gives you this amazing magical opportunity to get treated in such an educational push forward, but still kind of being able to not coddle them, but hold them in a position where we can teach them and we can guide them and we can join them together. We've worked with them as a group
7th and 8th grade, as a group, the high school. The reality is, none of you kids are going to be happy about moving to different schools. But the truth is, they're going to be fine if we're fine. If we're fine as a community, we're fine as teachers, we're fine as staff. If we can pull these kids together, they can survive anything. That's what we say. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Medley, and I am the Vice President of the Miller Valley PTO. And I would like to finish what Pam started. We currently have an SEI grant, which is roughly $45,000. Peter Dorsey, which pays his salary and benefits, is the teacher. He is assisting in providing the 4 hours of English language development to our ELL here at Miller Valley as required by law. This grant is calculated by ADE using the number of ELLs and the appropriate average class size. Based on their formula, they can determine the number of teachers required. If we merge according to option A, that could possibly dilute the percentages and take this grant money away. Abaya Judd has no ELL. Washington has 2. Miller Valley has 30. By moving and displacing our 30 ELLs could dispute the number, and we would not get the funding that would help our ELL students the most. And also, option B is the same as the one Washington presented, but it will keep our grants, and Miller Valley would stay put. Thank you, and have a nice evening.
Hi, my name is Kelly Jo Leffler. I'm a parent of a PUSD student who is now currently an 8th grader here at Mile High. I wasn't sure I was going to talk tonight. Actually, I was sure, but I left my notes at home, so I'm winging it. There's a lot of points that were brought up tonight that make a lot of sense, a lot of passion, clearly. One of the parents mentioned that if the public was involved in the situation earlier, that maybe we could have helped work this off. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm also a firm believer in that we keep asking our teachers to do more with less, and it's not positive. I work at a facility that is having the same issue, which now in the news, and it's because, as another parent said, we're putting Band-Aids on a problem instead of actually fixing the problem. I don't agree with actually any of these options. I do know that you have hard decisions ahead of you, and I don't envy you. I will support you, as I have been a supportive parent for my child's entire years. I myself was a product of large classrooms, and it didn't work well. I switched to an alternative school that was smaller classrooms, more one-on-one teacher exposure, and I excelled. I am a college graduate, I am a healthcare provider, and the one thing I really want to leave you with tonight, and again, I know you have a hard decision, is first and foremost in the healthcare we learn to do no harm. So that's what I'm asking tonight. Of all the decisions you have to make, please pick the one that makes the least harm to the students and teachers and to the community. And our community is pretty awesome. I bet we'd all step up and see what we can do for fundraising, and we've got lots of charitable organizations that would pitch in. Just a thought.
Hello, my name is Sherry Ditto. My granddaughter is a student at Miller Valley, and I've been very impressed with the educational opportunities that she's had there. I know, just looking from your own agenda, it appears to me that your own dot point suggests that option B is the least disruptive to the student. Your own agenda suggests that there's a small amount of money between the two, and I noticed it doesn't include the ADA costs, and there was another $35,000 cost in there, so I suspect it might be a wash if those were added in. I do have experience writing grants, and when you are eligible to receive a grant and go through all the administrative work, as well as all the report filing and stuff that you do, that's not an easy thing, and it wouldn't necessarily be an easy thing for the district to get another similar grant. So I disagree with some of those positions. I would also like to thank you and the teachers for their service. I heard a couple comments I'm in support of the possibility of the 4-day week, if that's something that works. I heard a lot of teachers here saying that they're in support of that. I do believe that you have to take care of the teachers and that they have been stretched like you have, like a lot of other people have. If you don't take care of your teachers and support them, the children will suffer. And I think I'm a native of Arizona. It just embarrasses me the way we do things around here. But and I know it's not on the agenda, but I'm in support of a full-day kindergarten. There's tons of studies that say that works. Also, I also heard a comment about outsourcing. I will caution you about outsourcing. There are a lot of costs involved in that are hidden. It's not a panacea. It's not a magic wand for fixing things. So thank you for your time, and I know your decision is going to be difficult, but I look and I see really smart people in front of us, so I'm sure you'll make the right decision. Thank you.
I'm Mike McCready. I'm a parent of 7 PUSD students, 2 graduates, and I just threw that in there. I'm actually representing the Prescott Education Association tonight. A lot of great conversations going on about options that we need to really look at. One of the things that I want to have on your brain when you're making these decisions are the number of teachers who are going to be put out of work. And I know we have procedures in place to make sure that, and I'm here to make sure they're followed, and that's my job. And we have to honor these teachers because, I appreciate the raise that we got this last year, and many of us have been around since 2005, 2006. And what I'm getting at is we need to honor our teachers because great teachers are going to be left without a job at the end of this school year. And it's not through any fault of their own. It's just because we have great teachers in this community. And I want to just keep that on your brain. And I am a Miller Valley person, and I've been in Prescott since '92. I've been a Miller Valley person, and I love the school, and I love the kids, and I love what Option B has for our kids. And I thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Marilyn Weedig, and I am nothing more than a gray-haired grandmother. But I am a grandmother who is a fighter for education. And our neighborhood schools have always been the heart of our community. And stripping these kids out of their neighborhoods, out of their schools, putting them into crowded classrooms, putting more pressure on our teachers, of which I was one at one time, just doesn't make sense. It's time, for one, I think the senior community can certainly step up and help with volunteerism to fill up some of the gaps that exist. And in this, we have to look at our history, where we've come, where we're going, and I think we're going in the wrong direction. It kills me to watch what's happening to education in Arizona. We're becoming a town of grandmothers who are potentially dying, we're on the road, dying, and drugs. If our kids don't have a good education, that we don't build a strong community with a diverse population, Prescott's going to die, and it's going to be a sad, sad thing. We just can't rip the heart of our communities apart, and we need to value our children because your children are going to take care of me when I'm really old. So, thank you.
Hi, I'm Christy Young. I'm a parent of a Washington student, and I have 3 things. First, I just want to thank you for your time and your tough decision you have. And I wanted to thank you for allowing us to be part of the community forums that I believe start back in February, so we can have some heads up of what's coming and have some input in this. I really appreciate that. And I wanted to show my support for the Washington PTA's modified plan today, where it keeps the Washington family together, as there are amazing students and faculty that have really, they have a family just like they want the Miller Valley people. And I think as much as we can do to keep the Miller Valley family and the Washington family together, I think it's really going to help our children. And I wanted to talk with you briefly, just say, thanks again for all you're doing. And I would really
appreciated to keep the blended learning as a part of everything, as my child particularly has benefited from the blended learning in that she is a second grader, but as part of the blended learning program, she's allowed to go to a third grade math class. And I'm not sure that that sort of integration could happen if we didn't have the blended learning. And I think there'd have to be some more different challenges, presented to her in a second grade atmosphere that you maybe can't, wouldn't maybe get at other elementaries. And so I think the blended learning really helps with that and continues to challenge our kids, but it also allows for kids the other direction that needed a little more remediation. They had a chance to go back to the first grade class if they need to. That it's just really important. It's really helped the kids there that I've seen, and I think the results show that. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Brian Patterson. I have 2 kids at Lincoln Elementary School. I don't know about you folks here, but this looks like a jacked up game of Monopoly where you're out of cash, you're selling properties, you're losing. And that's just my opinion. And then the banker, Kevin, you're doing a great job. I appreciate it. But today when you told me that there's so many different funds for the school district, I want to bang my head against the wall. There should be 2 accounts. One account for buildings, one account for budget. And everybody needs to work together and solve this issue. I'm more worried about, you solve the budget for this next coming year, that's impressive if it works. What happens next year after that? If you lose 30 kids, 40 kids, if they're $5,000 a kid, we're down $250,000. Where are we at now? No buildings, no cash. What's the option? Sell the kids? Trade them in? Work slave? I don't know. I'm just hoping that you guys will work and solve this problem. And rely on you folks to help our kids. That's all I have.
In Mile High, now in PHS. My brother and I were talking the other day, and he's probably one of the most impacted in our family. He's a 5th grader right now in Washington. The only concern he had is we're going to move him to Granite for a year with option A, and then back to Mile High. And the only concern he really had after talking to him the other day was, will I still be able to wrestle? All he thinks about is wrestling. He wants to wrestle. No matter where he goes, he would like to wrestle. So after talking to him with that conversation, I realized kids are really resilient. They'll bounce back from anything. So whatever choice you guys make, I know it's going to be a good choice, and I know kids are going to bounce back, but it's going to be a tough road to bounce back. I'm just here to put it out and know that I'm going to help whoever needs to be helped with that option.
Hi, my name is Margaret Vandenaker. I'm a Miller Valley parent. My son is in 4th grade there, and he just moved over there last year. I'm here in support of option B because it offers the better option, in my opinion, as a parent, to incorporate people in a positive manner. Our staff at Miller Valley and all the other schools are awesome. But I know Miller Valley has welcomed my son with open arms. And also, there's another reason to choose option B. We have a lot of parents in our school that walk their children to school. How are they to get their children to school if their school closest to them closes? There's a lot of different points to be looked at, and I hope you guys make the right decision, and thank you for your time. Have a good night.
Good evening. My name is Brian Silvernail. I'm a parent of PUSD children. I'm a PUSD product, I guess you could say. I'm here in favor of option, what I've been referring to as option modified B, which turns out is the same as Washington Site Council proposal. Let's close Washington and Miller Valley and make Granite a K through 6. Our exodus is at the middle school level. Let's let the middle school level suffer the loss of the students and loss of the classrooms. Let's keep the K through 6 schools and classrooms at those smaller sizes and allow for growth there. I think also that maintains that Granite Mountain property, which is, I think, a more desirable property for PUSD in the long run. Further than that, I think that fixes this immediate problem, but further than that, I think this is going to be an issue again in the future. Prescott is becoming more of a retirement community and less families. The families can't afford to live here. The families are living in the tri- or quad city areas. Why don't we look at other options of combining school districts? Why do we need 4 or 6 superintendents in the greater quad city area? So I really think that we need to, as a school district and as a school board, be more proactive with the areas around us and really look at future planning and future growth in this area.
My name is Lynn Beasley, and I am one of the parents that can walk their kid to school at Miller Valley. And in our neighborhood, we can walk to the grocery store, we can walk to downtown, I can even walk to work. Our neighborhood, when you go out walking, we have a lot of people in our neighborhood that have one vehicle, and you will see parents all over. We walk to the park. My concern becomes, even if you move Washington and Miller Valley over to Granite Mountain, when I'm at school, when I'm at work at my 12-hour day job, how does my husband, who can't drive, get my kid if she's sick? We chose Miller Valley, and most of the parents in my neighborhood that have their kids in Miller Valley because Miller Valley is in our neighborhood.
Hi, my name is Samantha Turner, and I'm a community member. I'm representing Washington and Miller Valley because I host after-school garden club with 50 of the schools combined, if you combine the students. And I just want to represent how amazing both of these school communities are, how receptive they've been to me, but most of all, how amazing that the students are at both schools. At Edible School Garden Club, we learn about fresh fruit and vegetables. We learn how to eat them and prepare them and grow them. And I'm here to just talk about how amazing both schools are and how amazing the principals are and also the teachers. And I'm in favor of option B because I think we need to continue this education for these students. Health education is very important for our community, and I will continue supporting that program. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Curtis James, and I'm standing up here as a concerned parent of 5 children. And one point that hasn't been made yet tonight is about the impact of a 4-day work week on the children. On the Friday that they're at home, parents are at work. They're going to be out getting into mischief, getting addicted to video games, or whatever else that can happen to teenage children that are left unsupervised. I really support strongly the teachers and rewarding teachers, but I just do not support a 4-day school week for that reason. I also think we should consider, again, the travel for, this has been mentioned before, for a lot of the parents. Both of the Plan A and B seems to put almost all the children in the west or northwest side of Prescott, and it doesn't really accommodate all the families on the east side. So I think we need to consider all those options. One possible option would be to maybe, because the schools are already paid for, why not use a portion of the school to save power or consolidate to less teachers but keep the same schools? Might be a possible option. So those are just some of my thoughts. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ginger Murray. I am a parent of a Washington student. I also live across from Yavapai Hills, and I have heard a lot of talk about Washington not being a neighborhood school. I am here to tell you that Washington is our neighborhood school. If you take Washington away from us, the families in that neighborhood, I personally will have no choice but to take my son to HUSD. He is already riding 35 to 45 minutes on the bus, and if you send him over to Granite Mountain, Abaya Judd, can you imagine what the bus ride is going to be for my child? He's a 2nd grader right now at Washington. So if you take Washington, we've been told that there is no exception. Washington is going to close. No matter what we say, Washington is going to close because it's not a neighborhood school. There are a lot of families in our neighborhood that their kids are going to be greatly impacted by taking away Washington. It is the closest school to anybody in our neighborhood. Because we choose to live up in that part of Prescott, I feel like we are going to be punished. Our children are going to be punished because we choose to live in a neighborhood that has no, technically, neighborhood school. So I just want you all to know, please remember, Washington is a neighborhood school. There are kids in our neighborhood that go to that school, and if they are forced to be bused to Granite Mountain, they're going to be on the bus more than they're going to be at home. What are they going to have time to do after school, after spending an hour bus ride each day? Each day. That's all I have to say.
Hi, Dennis Duval. I just want to say as a member of the public that I support option B. I don't want you to close Miller Valley because I really love that mural. That mural represents the aspirational goals of this community, and that is diversity. Learning to love, loving to learn. That is important in our community. I love seeing that mural when I drive down Miller Valley and Iron Springs, Willow Creek. That makes my day a whole lot better. Thank you.